is time. Look at that. All right. Got everything going. Where's YouTube? YouTube on the tablet. Inbox. Boom. 3, 2, 1. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Today is Tuesday, October 29th, 2019. My name is Jeremy, and this is my first cup of coffee. Oh, that was weak. I needed more grounds in there. Oh well, we're gonna run with it because I would have had to grind more coffee. Oh well, I didn't feel like doing that. Well, how are you? Hope you're having a good morning or whenever you listen to this or watch this. I slept amazingly well last night. Went to Taekwondo. Sunday was my Taekwondo instructor's birthday, so made sure I went to class so I could say hi and give him a hug and wish him a happy birthday. He's a good guy. Real good guy. It was a good class. Helped with the kids' class, worked with some kids on forums. Ugh. Ugh. We won't say more than that. Adult class, we did some forms, did some conditioning, did some kicking. Hit the bag at the end. I haven't kicked a heavy bag. I've really hit a heavy bag in a while. It felt good. Oh, it felt really good. I was folding that thing in, not in half, but putting some heat into it. Yeah, and when I was younger, I never liked hitting the heavy bag. I'm small, so I grew up, I guess not so, but I also grew up not terribly strong. And did not experience a lot of physical discomfort as a child. I didn't have, I didn't play football. I didn't have hobbies that had me grinding away at things. I mean, there was martial arts, but that was different. And then hitting the heavy bag, it hurt. I didn't like it. But as an adult, obviously things change. And last night I really liked hitting the heavy bag. And part of it is probably because I've gotten stronger. And I was able to feel what that translated into. Knowing that if I connected with someone with a kick that hard, of course, there's a lot of wind up and nobody would ever let me hit them that hard. But I've done some damage. It's a nice feeling. So today, I've got 2 podcast interviews scheduled for today and a bunch of work in between. I'll probably go to the gym. I don't know whether it'll be CrossFit or regular. I gotta check. I gotta see what we have scheduled for workout. At CrossFit, see if it fits with what I'm doing. And hopefully can go. Yeah, if you didn't check out yesterday's episode of Martial Arts Radio with Mr. Sean Kanan, you should. Mr. Kanan is best known for being in Karate Kid 3, played Mike Barnes. And we had a good talk. I really enjoyed chatting with him. A little bit different than a lot of the actor interviews we've done. Oh, I could easily go back to sleep. Yeah. Well, let's do the question thing. We got some questions. Let's dig in. If you want to ask one, drop it below. I'll talk about just about anything. It's an AA. Ask me almost anything. It has been said, what comes from the heart goes to the heart. It's a quote from Samuel Taylor Coleridge. How does this relate to one's martial arts journey? What comes from the heart goes to the heart. I think there are a few ways you can interpret that, but the one that makes the most sense to me is when you put your heart into something, that's what it feeds. When you invest your heart into, let's say, teaching, not only does it come back on that level to you, but that's how it's received by others. Heart's another way of saying passionate, right? So if you're passionate, if you're dedicated, if you're really putting your all into something, it serves you and it serves the others around you. People pick up on that. Nobody wants to be around someone who's half-assing the things that they're doing. People want to be around someone who is dedicated and persistent and accomplishes things. They want to be around someone who's making a difference for themselves, for others, etc. And it's that heart energy that people pick up on. As a student, you can show up to class just to do class, or you can show up to class open and ready to give your all. And that's not always easy. Sometimes giving your all is really, really hard. And I don't mean physically, I mean just being that invested in class and training in general. I've talked before about the idea of martial arts as service. What if you did a whole episode on this? What does it look like if you stop thinking about your training as being for you, but rather as being for others, especially as a higher rank? And I think that that lines up pretty well with this. Yeah, it's an interesting quote. What else we got? How can martial artists build the foundation for an effective martial arts journey? Ooh. The number one thing is to forget about any single goal. It's not about getting your black belt. It's not about getting your next belt. It's not about training for X number of years or developing a certain skill. It's about being there. That's the thing that people do wrong. It's the number one thing. Is that if you ask most martial artists, well, what's your goal in martial arts? They have one. They have a be-all, end-all goal. There's nothing wrong with working towards something. But the moment that that goal is the reason that you're training, you've got nothing on the other side of it. Why do I train? Because I love martial arts. You could press me, and I could come up with a lot of other things, but they are about the enjoyment and the benefits and the people and how I feel and how it has served me. At no point am I going to tell you, because I'm trying to add a stripe or earn this rank, or I want to make sure I do martial arts for X number of years, or win a competition. Because those are all, I don't want to say they're hollow, but they're short term. If martial arts is something you can dedicate your entire life to, then any goal that is achievable creates an artificial endpoint. or at least risks it. If you go to train, if you train on your, however, if you're training because you love it, if you're training because it makes you feel good, if you're training for any number of esoteric or subjective reasons, you're going to keep training. If you're training because of something that you can clearly define, something that has an endpoint, once you hit a few of those, you'll stop. We did an episode at some point on why people struggle to do things that don't have end goals. In Western society, we do diets for certain amounts of time. We enroll in classes for fixed lengths. We have goals and charts, and in many places in life that really serves us. But it doesn't serve us in martial arts. I think the more structure we apply to martial arts, the more difficult it can be to have long-term success. What else do you need on that journey? What else? What was the language? What else builds the foundation for an effective martial arts journey? Having friends in the martial arts. Being willing to take a break. Having friends that are not in the martial arts. Not bringing too much ego into it. There are a lot of things. There are a lot of things that can be helpful. That's a good question. That could probably be an episode. If you were to have a dog for protection, what kind would you get? Well, I think that's an easy one. The breed that I have heard about to be the most insanely tough is an Argentinian dog. I believe the pronunciation is Dogo Argentino, which I'm pretty sure translates as Argentine dog. And these things are used on ranches, cattle ranches, to keep mountain lions away. And I've read some stories about some of these dogs, like fighting mountain lions. So if it was purely for that purpose, I'd want one of those guys, because they're crazy. The obvious follow-up question, of course, is what if it wasn't just for that? What if it was for more than just personal defense? Probably a German Shepherd. Maybe some kind of terrier, pit bull, etc. But what kind of dog would I really get? Everything else not being an issue. A golden retriever or a lab or something. 'Cause those guys are silly. And that's what I want in a dog. I want a silly dog. I want a silly dog who I can take hiking and not have to worry. Stacy says toy chihuahua. No. No, I do not like the little dogs like that. Once in a while I meet one that's fun, but usually their personalities and just don't jive with me. Yeah, dogs are great. Dogs are great. If you had a toy chihuahua, you could throw it at an attacker. And then it would bite them very small. Very small bites. yeah, so I'm gonna go and got 2 episodes to record today. 2 episodes of martial arts radio. What else? What else we got going on? Bunch of little stuff in between, bunch of email, bunch of small things. So it's not going to be anything too fancy. I am going to be stuck here for the day. That's okay. There are worse places to be, right? Homework coming at you momentarily. If you want to ask me a question, drop it below. Because we do this show every weekday morning, 6:30 a.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube. But you can catch it later, of course, or you can even find the audio. Just search for First Cup with Jeremy in your podcast app. What else am I supposed to tell you? Subscribe, turn on notifications, because there's a lot more coming at you than First Cup. Now, here's your homework. We'll make it simple. If you had to have something beyond martial arts and beyond, we'll say, traditional weapons as defense. So today we talked about, and I think it was yesterday, we talked about dogs as defense. What would it be? Maybe it would be a dog. If it would be a dog, what kind of dog? What would you name the dog? How would it fit into your personal defense paradigm? Maybe you wouldn't have a dog. What else? What would it be? We'll leave some room open for people who don't like dogs or don't want dogs or are allergic to dogs. Maybe you would have a personal defense cat. I don't know how that would work. Mine would be useless. That's all I got. All right, I'll be words. I hope you have a great day. I'll see you back here tomorrow. Take care. Peace.